Hello again. I'm a new shade of blue, and this is part 2 of my redesign for the Marvel character Trailblazer. If you recall from last time, I wanted to try my hand at redesigning these characters that a lot of comic book fans are complaining about online. Initially I was just gonna make 1 or 2 of these, but my design process has I decided to take you through the whole thing, so it's gonna be a bit longer. Well, I guess as a recap, basically, Marvel introduced these characters called the New Warriors. I didn't really get into that much detail with it last time, so this seems like the appropriate time to do so. And I'm trying to flesh out the characters some more. Okay, again, these stories haven't come out just yet, so we don't really know much about the narrative outside the quick synopsis the trailer gave. So, the storyline is that there's a new law that basically makes underage superheroes illegal. If you're a metahuman who wants to go out and fight crime and you're under 21, then it is a crime. Which honestly doesn't make any sense to me because all vigilantes are technically criminals. But regardless of that, it seems like the old New Warriors have been brought in as some sort of mentoring, as like the authorities here to mentor a new group of warriors. Like I said, I'm not sure what the specific situation is or how this is going to work out because, like I said, the book isn't out yet. And honestly, I feel like I kind of have to read it because it can't possibly be as bad as people are saying it is. It never really is. Anyway, the character most people are wanting to redesign or take another look at are the ones called Safe Space and Snowflake, which are typically seen as derogatory terms. It's basically what the writers were trying to do was take these terms that people find derogatory and have the characters make it their own, which I've seen done before. Like take My Hero Academia for example. The main character's hero name is Deku, which is an insult his middle school bully used to throw at him, which means nothing. Saying that you're nothing. And you decide who's going to take that name and let it be the name of a hero. So that's cool. The problem here though, it's, we gotta see how it's executed. But the thing about a snowflake is, it's used to basically say that you're fragile. That you're overly sensitive. It's kind of hard to find a sense of pride in that. The, Snowflake is a character who's cryokinetic and she can make ice shurikens and throw them at people. Her twin brother, Safe Space, the term Safe Space is kind of like when you need to shrink away from the real world because it's too hard for you. It's that's not actually what a safe space is. It's like a physical location where you can, be safe, like a women's shelter or something like that. The thing about Safe Space is that his powers are to create force fields. Except he has to be in the presence of somebody else for him to work. He can't protect himself on his own. He needs to have someone to protect in order for his ability to function. Which, honestly, I don't mind. I like limitation in abilities. It's, seeing how a character can overcome this limitation and do cool things is one of my favorite parts in anime. There is my one question though about these two is that, apparently they're psychic twins, yet their powers have nothing to do with each other. But I guess you don't have to play to every trope. The third character is named Screentime, who was infected by his grandfather's experimental internet gas, which basically plugged him into the internet at all times. There's nothing new about a goofy backstory in comic books, but it just I look forward to finding out what internet gas was actually supposed to do. Like, what could the function of it have possibly been? No, other than give your grandson superpowers. I assume he's going to be some sort of technopath, because otherwise I guess he's just a, walking Google, which has its uses. Alright, the fourth member of the team is B Negative. I love that name, by the way. I appreciate a good pun. B Negative is a vampire kid who got his powers through a blood donation from Michael Morbius. Morbius was originally a Spider-Man villain, and then I think he went to slay vampires with Blade or something. But yeah, he has the vampire powers of possibly flight, being pale, a version of sunlight, presumably. I assume there's some super strength and speed in there. Yeah. Oh, and of course he needs to drink blood, or in this case, plasma, through the palms of his hands. Or at least that's how the 90s cartoon rationalized it. It's just kind of funny, because I don't think we need to bring Michael Morbius into it at all, because, well, vampires are just a thing in the Marvel Universe. Like, they're just around, living their lives, like Jubilee from the X-Men is a vampire, last time I heard. But the character I'm working on is called Trailblazer. She's the leader of the team, and honestly the one people have the least problem with. Her backstory is that she's a foster kid who inherited a magical backpack from her grandfather. This backpack might be divine in nature, but it's it looks like it's some sort of alien technology. So if there is a deity involved with it, it's probably some sort of alien god. At least that's my guess at the moment. What happened was that there was some sort of attack on a senior center, and when one of the old New Guardians came in to deal with it, Trailblazer helped him out, and that kind of put him on the radar. That put her on the radar of the authorities. So the new warriors take her in to keep her out of trouble with the police, I presume. Her ability allows her to pull anything out of the backpack, not necessarily what she wants, though. Which I think is an okay power. Nothing wrong with a good utility ability. I was kind of fascinated by it, though, since I think this is a character that has a lot of potential. And since I don't know her full backstory yet, I figured it would be a good chance to, stretch my own storytelling ability. Stretch my own storytelling muscles. I guess let me flex my superhero knowledge at this point. There are actually tiers of superheroes. Like, you have your street-level superheroes, like Spider-Man and Daredevil. People who are happy to take on car thieves and muggers, and the occasional ninja. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have cosmic-level superheroes, which deal with basically threats in outer space, like Captain Marvel or the Silver Surfer. Larger-than-life adventures and dangers. I think Trailblazer would be somewhere in the middle. If it was up to me, which it is right now, I would make her a trans-dimensional superhero. Meaning she comes from a different dimension. I figure the backpack is a exploratory device that she found that allows her to traverse the multiverse. It's a survival tool of sorts. So it has the ability to basically give her whatever she needs to survive. But there are limitations. Now, in my mind, I think more in what a character or power can't do than what they can do. Because limitations create conflict, and conflict creates stories. So for Trailblazer's special backpack, I think the limitation would be, basically scale of the item produced, and, what the item can be used for. Going back to Safe Space, his power is entirely selfless. he can't use his power just to protect himself. I think there's a lot of potential for story there. Like, why can't he protect himself? Does he just not value himself that much? And that's something to explore. And like what with Trailblazer, I think her limitation should be, that her power is entirely selfish. The backpack only produces things that she needs to survive in a given situation. And the item given is specifically a survival tool. It can't produce food for her. It can't produce food for her, but if she teleports into a tundra-like environment, it will give her some warm clothing to wear. If there's a blizzard on it might produce a thermal tent for her to sit it out in, or it might give her a shovel so she can dig her own igloo. She has no control over what it produces. Also, one thing it will not do is give her a snowmobile so she can ride out of there. That's way too complex for it to be. My story idea would be that that something happened to her. She was in her own dimension. She was probably part of some sort of village or tribe that was invaded for whatever reason, for what they had, primitive technology or the deity they worship, and she stumbled upon this device on her attempt to escape. Ever since then, she's been jumping from world to world until she got to 616, which is the name of Marvel Prime, basically. And for some reason, the backpack just stopped working there. And that's why she was in foster care. Once the backpack stopped teleporting around, she was forced to stay here, which is something she was forced to live here, which is something she hasn't had to do in a very long time. So she was kept apprehended by the authorities and put into the child care services. And admittedly, it still needs some fleshing out, which I will probably do in the next video. And what will happen next time? Another element I would think the backpack would possess is that, like I said, it only produces survival tools. And it only produces survival tools for the user. And so in a situation where, say, someone is poisoned, the backpack can't produce food, but it can produce antivenom or antitoxin. However, if someone else is poisoned, the backpack won't do anything. So, in order for Trailblazer to save that life, you would have to get herself poisoned and give the vaccine to the other person. Which is really good what kind of character she is. Kind of got wrapped up in my exploration. I probably jumped too far ahead to designing faces before I got the finished form down. It's a fun process, though. I was able to zone out and get into it for 2.5 hours, which I sped up to 10 times the speed, in order to make it to about a 15-minute video. Last video was only 5 times faster. But hey, there was also a lot more talking here, so I hope that's a good thing and you weren't just annoyed by me. If you made it this far, I guess it worked out. But I'll sign off here. Please join me next time for what is hopefully the final video and the finished product. Thanks for listening to my rambling. Talk to you next time. Later.